What's up, guys? It's Alex Melton with Kaiju Island, and today, me and my guest Dylan, who is a best friend slash brother to me, are going to be watching the Pacific Rim 2 trailer, and then after we watch the trailer and give our thoughts about it, we're going to go and Skype my cousin, who is the co-owner of Kaiju Island, Humphrey Gardner. We're going to Skype him, and we're all going to just have a huge discussion and debate about Pacific Rim, so be prepared for a long video, and like and subscribe, and give us your input also about what you think. But
Remember, anything said in this video is all just speculation and not to be taken seriously at all.
Everything that we say in this video is total speculation as to what we feel right now, and then we're going to come back and watch Pacific Rim 2 after it comes out, and then let you guys know how we felt about it in its final entirety. You know, if we actually were right about what we speculated.
All right,
but
guys, let's jump into
we're going to jump into this trailer. Shout out to Film Select, who brought this trailer. Legendary, always awesome.
Yep.
I think this beginning scene right here is pretty cool with the sirens. It gives it kind of like a dark tone.
Yeah, it gives it that dark demeanor that it had in Pacific Rim 1.
I just hope there's more scenes where it's dark, just like this one, other than everything being bright.
Yeah.
And it looks like two Jaegers are actually. Wait! I just realized. Why does it look like Jaegers are attacking the city right there?
It did, didn't it?
I didn't even realize that at the beginning. That's weird.
Yeah.
You know,
for those people who are running for their lives, they didn't seem like they were running very fast.
Yeah. Either way, the Jaegers, they got a new design. They look pretty okay. And they look pretty cool. Well, okay, I'm not gonna say pretty okay. They look pretty badass, in my opinion. And also those white Jaegers right there.
Yeah, those are some.
Okay, those were what my cousin. Those are what my cousin was mentioning before. But in 2018. So I wonder. I don't know.
To be honest, that Jaeger right there looked like a rust bucket. It looked like something someone just constructed out of randomness.
Yeah.
Maybe so. If there's elements like that, then this is going to be a pretty interesting insight.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what those things are, but they look pretty cool. But I don't know. I mean, I feel like this movie looks like it'll be okay. I mean, I'm excited to see it. But the part about the Kaiju is the only part that disappoints me right here, looking like, you know, there's only going to be like 3 or 4 Kaiju, and the main Kaiju is going to be formed out of the rest of them. But see, the Jaegers just move too fast right there.
Yeah, man.
For how big they are.
Like, that kick was ridiculous. You can't do that much weight.
That kick was a lot. But I still feel like the Kaijus have that Pacific Rim look, though, which is pretty cool. They still have the Pacific Rim look to them.
And that, when they're all just standing together perfectly, like,
yeah,
right
that's pretty corny. And then the big ass spiky ball that looks like a fucking butt plug of death. I mean, come on. Hate to be negative, but like when I only see corny, campy stuff like this, I can't help but say it.
They're all running together into battle. Come on.
All right. Well, there it was. Now we're gonna get up with my cousin on Skype. Alright, so we've got Humphrey Gardner up here, the co-owner of Kaiju Island. I'm going to go ahead and let him say some things that he wants to say.
Alright, what's up? You want me to just talk about the trailer?
Yeah, we're just going to talk about our opinions on the trailer, negative and positives, and just how we feel the movie will turn out, so that when the movie does come out and we watch it, we'll be able to possibly just look at what we thought about the trailer and then how the movie actually turned out.
This is all just speculation.
Yep, and that's Dylan, by the way.
What's up?
What's up, Dylan?
Alright, so what do you think initially?
I think it looks badass, but like on top of that, there's stuff that like I think that is just like looks ridiculous.
Yeah, I feel the same way. Like when I initially first watched the trailer, I thought to myself, I was like, well, then that's pretty badass, because I mean everybody's been waiting for Pacific Rim 2. I mean everybody's gonna think it's badass. But then, like, as soon as I looked in it more in depth and I just started realizing, you know, they're showing a lot of stuff from the movie already in the trailer, I started realizing that it doesn't look as badass as I initially thought. What do you think, Dylan?
To be honest, for me, it's kind of like a 50-50 on whether or not it's going to be good or bad. It just depends on what elements they changed and what elements they kept. I mean, the one thing that I'm hoping I can really see again is that badass fight scene where you know things are just going to get too intense for people to...
We'll see. Well, I mean, what do you initially think when you first saw the trailer?
I don't know. There were some things I liked, some things I didn't. To me, it's just a 50-50. I liked it mostly.
All right, so
some things look bland.
So Dylan's a 50-50 on it. So
All right, but there's something like that I would like to point out. Like there's, like in the first one, you felt that like even in the trailers, you felt that like that tone of like the world's about to end and that like they're on their last legs or whatever. But this one just seems like, oh, let's get in some robots and like kick some ass. Like it doesn't seem as threatening as you know what I mean.
I feel that like I feel the same way. Like the first Pacific Rim just had like such a good art style. It was dark and it was dreary, like it was actually an apocalypse. And in this one, it's just like it just looks like too friendly. It's like I'm pretty sure it's because a lot of people criticize. They're like, oh, the old Pacific Rim, it was just all nighttime. We need to see some fights during the day, and they just said, fuck it, let's just flip the fucking light switch the whole movie.
Yeah, I had no problem with that.
Yeah, I didn't either. I thought the darkness really added to the feel, but now it just feels like it's too light and like
What I'm really hoping is that they just didn't follow up on everything the fans kept saying, because one thing I've noticed with shows, movies in general, is that when you start listening to the fan base more than your own ideas, you start ruining the entire show.
Yeah.
That's just how it is.
And see, what I was thinking is, okay, so now we're going to break it down, try to break it down a little further. I feel like Guillermo del Toro, he's just like, he's a real visionary, and a lot of the films that he makes are just like, they have this really artsy, like, dark touch to them that you just can't really replicate. And I feel like the new director, he just kind of said, fuck it, I'm just going to completely stray off the path. I mean, the new Jaeger designs are nice. I like the new Jaeger designs. The new Kaijus look pretty cool and unique. But there's only like a maximum of 3, maybe 4 if you include all 3 of them combining together.
Yeah,
which
I think there's 5 like of the main crew.
Well, yeah, but either way, I mean, what's up with them combining to make a bigger Kaiju? Like
that's just so Transformer, and that's just ridiculous. Like how the can like organic things like mix like men together. I don't like that at all.
Well, I mean, either way, even if you're not looking at it logically, like you think about it, I mean, not a lot of logic applies in Pacific Rim. But even then, it's like, well, and definitely not in Pacific Rim too. But I mean, even then, it's just, why would you use the Kaiju that are already there to form a bigger one when you could just have a new Kaiju? I mean, it basically means that all 3 of those Kaiju are going to survive long enough and not even be killed long enough to be the final monster.
One thing that I think would be badass is just one just comes out of the ground and just crushes the other 3 and really proves his dominance. What if it was really just like an animal instinct kind of thing? Kind of sick to me.
But
also, one thing that I know is not going to happen now is since we've seen them combine in the trailer to make this big one, we're not going to get any of those like badass Kaiju kills that we got in the first one.
Yeah, like I said, they're all going to survive long enough to be the final fight, basically.
Yeah, and that was the best part about the first one is like when I remember when I was sitting in the theater and he was popping those plasma balls in the leather pack, and I was like, that's fucking awesome right there.
Yeah, and see, another thing is I'm thinking the fucking Jaegers, they move so goddamn fast in this one, like it's not realistic. In the old movie, they were really slow, big, and bulky, which gave it that realism. Like these are actually giant robots.
Well, I'm gonna counter that one actually because I think this one's in the future, so they probably perfected the Jaegers. But
you got tons of weight being slid around like it's literally nothing. It's not possible.
I mean,
the biggest dinosaurs back in the past had to move slowly because there was so much weight to move that they couldn't do it quickly.
And plus, gravity affects that much weight. That much. I mean, I get it.
But we're talking about Pacific Rim here. I mean, the Mark V was moving fast, and I mean, they barely showed Strike Eureka. I mean, sort of, not really.
Yeah, but I don't know, man. I feel like the Jaegers are just moving too free, man. Especially like during that scene where the Jaegers are fighting each other, and I think it was Gypsy Danger that was fighting against him. Like he slid on the ground under him and like sliced his side. Like that's just too excessive, man. Like no giant robot can move like that. They're moving like ninjas, man.
Yeah, I see where you're coming from, but
either way, what else do you see with the trailer that concerns you?
I mean, can I add in something?
Okay, go ahead.
One thing that I do notice is that they're moving fast, but I feel like the main reason they kind of did that was to add more of a badass element.
Yeah.
Because things moving quicker, it just makes things look more smooth, more concrete.
But I did like the fact.
The thing wrong with moving fast is that like you'll get this Transformer effect where you don't know what the fuck is going on when the fighting's like Transformers, like, I've never understood what's going on in the fight. I mean, sometimes I do, but then there's points where I'm like, all right, what the fuck's going on?
Yeah, and see, the other thing is like in the old Pacific Rim, I loved when they took so long to charge up an attack. Like you knew it was going to hit hard because it looked like it took so much effort to do it. You know.
Yep.
Yeah.
But either way, what else do you? We'll ask Dylan. What else in the trailer do you that you find that you either are happy with or not happy with?
Well, this is more of like a speculation, but I'm just hoping that they didn't put much Jaeger fighting one another and more of them fighting,
Yeah, the actual kaiju.
Yeah, the Kaiju.
Yeah, that's a point I made with Alex when I was on the phone with him the other day. We were talking about that. Like, we hope that it's not Jaeger on Jaeger. The whole, like, it's mostly Kaiju versus Jaeger, and not more of the Jaeger versus Jaeger, which I think it won't be like that. But
I mean, from the trailer, it looked like they were fighting each other. It may not have been Jaeger on Jaeger, but it looked like missiles were flying out one Jaeger and hitting a building, killing other people.
It was definitely Jaeger versus Jaeger at one point, but I don't know if it'll be like that the whole movie. I hope not. But
yeah. Did anyone notice
conflict?
Go ahead.
Did anyone notice those things? Those like white. They have like white armor and like the. It looks like they have skin in between them. Is that like maybe a Kaiju Jaeger hybrid? Maybe.
What were you talking about? I didn't notice what that was.
Those things. You remember whenever they shot the missiles at the Shatterdome? I guess it is.
Yeah.
And like those things. Those like. I don't know what they were.
Are you talking about the little creature looking things?
They're like white.
I have no idea.
May have to look back on that one.
But
yeah. Go back real quick. Like if anyone's got a phone over there.
Yeah, well, I got it up here. Hold up. So right after he shoots the missiles at the Shatterdome?
No, right before that.
Alright.
I mean literally right before that, so.
Oh, those things.
Yeah, I think I know what you. Yeah, that's what I was saying. They look like little creatures or something made by Jaeger Tech or something. I'm not sure.
They look like I feel like.
Offspring.
Yeah, go ahead, Dylan.
Maybe it's like Kaiju Offspring, something like that. I kind of wanted like small elements of those creatures running around. Why do they all have to be gigantic?
It looks like Jaeger. It looks like the white parts are the armor, and like there's like a Kaiju under it. Because I see the neon in the like neck area and like the armpit areas. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. Well, see. Okay, well here's another thing. I'm gonna go off that subject a little bit because I'm still not quite sure what those are. I think, but actually on that subject, but you see a guy shooting an assault rifle at them, so it leads me to believe that they definitely are Kaiju related. But who knows? What kind of technology they have. But
yeah, are you talking about those like dog things that are like running through the street?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
those are the things that help the Kaijus form into the big one because you can like see them. No, because you can like see them running on the road and stuff.
But here's another thing I want to mention is just like I know there were some corny moments in the first Pacific Rim. Like every blockbuster movie is gonna have something corny in it, obviously. But man, I don't know. It's just like almost the entire Pacific Rim 2 trailer was just a little corny, man. Like I mean, some of it was okay, but especially the part where all the Jaegers were lined up, like getting ready to battle, pulling out their weapons, and then the motherfucker with the huge spike ball, like what the fuck is that? But I mean, it's like it just looks like it's so like cliche and corny, like they're all standing together.
Can you get any cornier than a man's gotta do what a man's gotta do, brother?
Yeah, I think you can when you got them all lined. I think you can when you got them all lined up in a line. Like freaking just about to battle, and then they just run into battle. Like it just looks so stupid, man. I don't know, but what I think, honestly, I think they're just trying to transformer the hell out of this movie. Like make it. I think they're trying to make Pacific Rim into a Hollywood whitewash series, just like fucking Transformers. What do you think, Dylan?
To be honest, if it does start to go in that direction, it'd be quite upsetting because.
What do you think it looks like they're doing?
It does look like they're trying to whitewash it. It really does. Corny moments and kind of how the Jaegers seem to look in a way. They kind of seem like they could fold apart and shit, kind of like a Transformer.
Yeah, but I don't know. I don't know if they're ever gonna make it like actually make them transform. But
They
I'm
better
using I'm using Transformers as like a metaphor for like like the type of movies Transformers are. They're like
Yeah.
they literally have no substance anymore. They're literally just being pushed out to make money, and they're just big action flicks that everybody watches because they think they look cool.
Just a bunch of action.
Like midway through the movie, like the Jaeger turns into a car.
No, it's like midway during the movie, he's like. He like sits there and turns into a fucking truck and just starts driving through the street, and they're just like, hold on.
But I think the kaiju designs are great. I love the kaiju designs.
Yeah, I think the kaijus look cool. I mean, there's no doubt about that. The only problem I see is that like really, I'm looking forward to the movie Rampage with Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson in it more than I'm looking forward to Pacific Rim now. And I know that probably sounds like a sad thing. But like
I don't agree with that one.
But
I mean,
we'll see the reason I say that is because Rampage, it's like it's a new movie, and you know that it doesn't have anything to live up to. I mean, you just know that it's going to be giant monsters destroying the city, and like it's just going to be a pure like destroying city fest of giant monsters. And I think that's awesome because that's just what the movie's going to be. But with Pacific Rim 2, you have a really good movie that came out before it that it has to live up to, and you know damn well right now it's never going to live up to that. And it just looks like they're just going to turn it into complete shit, and it's going to disappoint me. I'd rather watch a movie and just have fun watching it than watch Pacific Rim and just be disappointed that it didn't live up to it.
I mean, Pacific Rim is really, really good because I've met kids, like, I'm not even kidding you,
I know.
kids that they don't even like kaiju, and like their favorite
I'm not saying Pacific Rim's not good.
No, that's not what I was saying. I was trying to say how good it was.
Yeah, but see, Pacific Rim was so good that now the second one is just. At this point, when I go in to watch it, all I know is that I know I'm going to walk out the theater disappointed, and it's going to suck because I've been waiting for this movie. I know it's going to disappoint me.
When it was announced, I got really excited. The first one was it was too awesome to put into words. Everything was just so good, even though it had its corny moments, even though it,
Well, I think it all dials down back to Guillermo del Toro as a director and as a kaiju fan. Like Guillermo del Toro is a kaiju fan, so like he made a movie that's like a kaiju movie, and like.
Well, see, even then the director of Pacific Rim 2, when I was watching his interview, he said that he was like a big kaiju fan, but like I feel like I feel like they're just saying that. I mean, I don't know, man. For some reason.
I watched an interview with Guillermo del Toro, and he was talking about all these Godzilla.
Yeah, I know.
Stuff.
Well, I'm saying no. I mean, Guillermo del Toro, he's obviously a kaiju fan. I'm saying the director for Pacific Rim 2. He said that he was a big kaiju fan, and like I can't see the love in this movie. Like I just see something that's made for like it's one of these movies where adults watch the trailer and they're just like, oh yeah, it's got a lot of action. I'm gonna go watch it, and that's how they're gonna make their money.
I think the only thing maybe that might hold this together though is that the first Pacific Rim made all its money in international sales, like China and stuff like that, and like they weren't gonna make a second one. It was like, nah, we're not gonna make a second one of that. It's not gonna sell in America. But like it gained such a cult following that like that it was a demand. So this is a demanded movie.
Yeah,
so,
but I don't care if it's demanded or not. I mean. The fact of the matter is that obviously they're going to make it the way they're going to make it, but the way I feel as a like true kaiju fan and as a person who respected Pacific Rim 1 for really what it was, I just feel like, in my opinion, this is going to disappoint me. Like, I mean, this is just talking about our opinions here. I just feel like it's going to disappoint me. It's going to turn into like a Transformer Hollywood, Michael Bay, explosions, like fighting with no real purpose. And also, another thing, the fucking jetpacks on the Jaegers, like really? Like, really?
I thought that was cool, actually.
I don't know, man. That's a little too far.
For me, a little bit. Mainly because, again, you got megatons of fucking steel sitting here, and you're just going to launch it into the air with how much fuel? Endless amounts?
And, I mean, even then, I don't know, man. The Jaegers with jetpacks, I feel like they're just trying to make, like a live-action movie of, like, Gundam or something. Like, I know you don't know what Gundam is, but...
If you're talking about fuel, I mean, you can use kaiju fat and dude, 1 cubic ounce it's a cubic ounce of kaiju shit will fertilize a whole field.
Yeah, well, Well, I mean, I'm not talking about it realistically. Like fuel wise, it doesn't. Realistically, it doesn't matter. But like talking about it, just like in a concept, I mean, yeah, it looks badass, but like it's just like, in my opinion, it looks cool, but it's a little too far, man. I mean, you got Jaegers with jetpacks. They move as fast as a fucking ninja. I mean, what? I mean, at this point, they're not even like Jaegers who like you don't even feel like they have a challenge anymore because they have so many cool abilities. Now you just feel like they're unstoppable. I mean, I liked it when the Jaegers were limited and they couldn't do all these things that they can do now. Like it actually felt like they didn't have a chance or that they were actually fighting for their lives. Now I feel like they're so powerful that it doesn't matter. They know they'll win because they got fucking jetpacks. They've got motherfucking big ass spiky balls of fucking destruction, whatever they are. They can like fucking run fast as hell. I mean, like I liked it when they were slow and bulky and it felt like they actually needed strategy to win.
I say like I think that I'm optimistic about it, but I am like prepared to get disappointed if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
Like
I do notice one thing. It seems that the first one set a ground for the second and how the second was supposed to be better, but I think we may just be overanalyzing it just a tad too bit and not realizing that maybe trying to make it own up to the first one is the reason why we're looking so far down on it now.
Well, yeah, but
Not
I mean,
only that, I got one good question. This is something I don't exactly know. Why don't they have the same director as they did in the first one?
well, it doesn't always work out like that.
Yeah.
because Guillermo del Toro was working. He wants to. Well, he doesn't want to, but he had a contract to do Justice League Dark, I think it was. Yeah, and so like he couldn't do Pacific Rim 2. He was gonna do Pacific Rim 2, but like it fell through and all this other stuff. And then when it got picked back up, he couldn't do it because
I don't know, man. How far in the future is Pacific Rim 2 supposed to take place anyways? Because it just looks like, in my opinion, they advanced these Jaegers way more than what they even should have been. Because really, I mean,
I think it's like I mean like don't take my word on this, but I'm pretty sure, like when I think about it straight in my head, I think I heard that it was like 8 years or something.
dude, 8 years.
And they advanced it that far? That's insane.
8 years from a total apocalypse and not having enough equipment to make Jaegers the way they were.
To the point.
8 years to the point where they're making them look like fucking the most advanced robots who have jetpacks. That's BS, dude.
Yeah, just
I don't know,
8 years. Like if it was.
I mean, it was
40
already
years,
in the future though, so I mean, I don't know.
But
I mean, I see where you guys are coming from. Like, yes, and I think that's some of this shit is like ridiculous, but I mean,
But either way,
But then again, hold on. Again, if you kind of think about it, if the world almost ended before, wouldn't like every superpower there was literally realize that this is the only way that you could possibly stop this and shove every piece of resource that they possibly have into this? I guess it would make sense. Put all the greatest scientists, put every fucking mechanic you have on it. This is your way out.
well, I think we're being okay. Well, I think we're being a little too realistic. But
if we're talking realistic, I mean, in Pacific Rim, like you could say in the first one, why didn't they take those plasma cannons and like put them at the breach and just like blast them as they came out?
But either way, all I'm thinking, like, okay, if I'm getting back to the basics, I think that the movie's gonna be like when I go to watch it. Here's what I think. I think it's gonna be a fun movie. I think there's gonna be like, if you look at it and don't look at it living up to like the first one, if you look at it in its standards holding up to the first one, then I don't think it's gonna impress anybody at all. But if you look at it as just what it is, I think it'll be a fun movie. You'll get to see some cool parts where Jaegers have some new abilities. You'll get to see a Jaeger fight a Jaeger, which will be cool. You'll get to see, I mean, obviously the CGI is going to be better. You're going to get to see some badass Jaeger versus Kaiju fights. But in the end, I still feel like it's just going to be missing that magic that Pacific Rim 1 had, and ultimately I'm just going to see this as a Transformer versus Kaiju movie instead of an actual Pacific Rim movie, in my opinion. So I just feel like I'll be slightly disappointed.
You think it's not going to catch the tone of the first one and the dire like what's the word
Situation,
like,
dire situation,
dire situation like of the first one.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think that, and also I just think that it's just going to be like really corny and campy, and I just feel like it's not going to feel like a Pacific Rim movie. Like they might as well just call it something else.
I mean, there's a lot of stuff in the first one that are corny and
Oh yeah, I
campy.
know it's corny
Yeah,
and
but
campy
you,
in the
you
first one,
always need that corny
but
stuff in
but
a
the
movie.
thing is, I just feel like that's what this whole movie is going to be like, just like a giant cringe fest. Like, and not only that, I feel like it's just like I said, it's just not going to live up to the first one, and it shouldn't even. And if it goes the way that the trailer makes it go, then they should have just called it something else instead of being called Pacific Rim because it really won't even feel like a Pacific Rim movie. I mean, plus
I like.
they took out all the good actors and fucking put these like Hollywood like
Mainstream.
Well,
mainstream ass actors.
the original cast are coming back. The only one that's not coming back are, of course, the characters that died
Well,
and Riley Beckett, and
yeah, I know
we
he's like
don't
the
know-
main character. What the
Yeah, he
hell?
was the main character. Why would they get rid of him of all people?
he had another movie to do. So like, I guess they're gonna have to
Well,
come up with
They
some
couldn't wait it
excuse.
out to see if they
Well,
can get everyone
it-
like up and running for
it-
this.
I
Like,
guess
this is a
that's-
movie that took preparation. This
Well,
is
I
a
don't
good ass
know.
movie.
I guess we're just either way at this point. I guess we should just try to go ahead and try to come to a conclusion of what we think. So in the end, Humphrey, just put in your final input.
All right, so I think they're gonna pull some campy stuff, and I don't think it's gonna be as good as the first one, but I hope it will be, and I'm optimistic to see it, and I can't wait to see it, and we can only hope for the best.
All right. Well, my final input is that I think it's going to be like extremely corny and cringy most of the time. I feel like there's going to be some moments that are epic and they're going to get you excited, but then they're slowly just going to you're going to get let back down again. I feel like I'm definitely excited to see the movie. I definitely want to see it, and I definitely hold hopes that it will be good. But I can't hold hopes for something that I already see is going downhill spiral from the trailer. I mean, the trailer showed pretty much everything. I can't hold too many hopes for something that already looks terrible in the trailer. Most of the time, trailers make movies that suck look good, and if you can't make a movie that's good look good in the trailer, then you know it's already going to go downhill. But either way, I'm excited to see it, and I'm excited to see the new Kaiju. I'm excited to see them fight, and I'm still going to love the fights. I'm a Kaiju fan. I mean, it doesn't matter how bad the movie sucks. As long as I get to see monsters fight, then I guess I'll be happy with it. But in the end, I won't be happy at the fact that it's not going to feel like a Pacific Rim movie. But in the end, we'll see exactly how the movie turns out because we're going to continue this video after the movie comes out and see what our final reactions are. But go ahead, Dylan, and tell me your final thoughts.
I agree with a lot of points you made a little bit earlier about the fact that will it own up to Pacific Rim 1? Probably not. But if you look at it, besides the fact of it trying to build up to Pacific Rim 1, then I think all in all, it will still be a good movie, but it just won't own up to its name.
Yeah. I mean, well, yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that.
But either way, I agree with everything everybody said. And it's not like I'm trying to smash Pacific Rim. I love Pacific Rim 1. But in the end, I'm just another movie critic when it comes to movies. And just how I feel about it is that,
And then again, we may completely be wrong on this. And we may have
and
just
it
seen
could
a whole
turn-
bunch of
yeah.
elements that we just didn't like at first, and then they're just going to turn it into the most badass thing we could ever see.
Yeah,
But
and
for
like I
us,
said,
it's highly unlikely.
it could definitely turn out to be an amazing movie. I have faith in Legendary that they'll do something good, but that something good might not be good enough, at least. But either way, it might get some of the younger generation into Pacific Rim with its new elements. It might get more people into the Kaiju fan base. And maybe if this movie goes big, then the Kaiju fan base in the U.S. will get even bigger because right now the United States is starting to bring out more Kaiju movies. And maybe even if this doesn't live up to Pacific Rim 1, maybe this is what the Kaiju industry needs in the U.S. to bring more monsters to us.
I think the kaiju industry is on an increase. I think they're putting out more movies and stuff, and it's a great time to be a kaiju fan.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I just feel like maybe even if this movie doesn't live up to Pacific Rim 1, it's going to have elements that make people want to see more giant monster movies.
The one movie that I know for a fact definitely brought a lot of people in America down for the Kaijus is Kong Skull Island. That was a pretty badass movie.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
And I know a lot of people like that movie.
And
I walked out of that. I mean, I guess this is a video for another time, but like I walked out of that movie like thinking it was all right, and then the second time I watched it, I was like, "That all right."
Yeah, the first time I watched it, I was like, well, either way, we're not talking about Kong Skull Island, but but either way, Pacific Rim 2. Once it comes out, we're going to once it comes out, we're gonna finish up with this video, and we're gonna let you guys know exactly how we feel and if we were right or wrong. And by the time it comes out, we'll come back and we'll do another conversation like this. But either way, if you got any final words to say, Humphrey?
No, I just hope it's fucking good.
Yeah.
That's all I really have to say.
Yeah, I hope it's fucking good too, because really I've been waiting for this movie, and right now it just looks like a shit show disappointment.
I mean, either way, I'm gonna like it. It's Pacific Rim and it's kaiju, so
well, no, I can't agree with that. I'm gonna say either way I'll like it, but not because it's Pacific Rim, but because it's a giant monster movie. Because if
yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying I'll know if it's a shit movie.
no, but I'm saying you said you'll like it because it's Pacific Rim, but honestly, I don't even want to consider it Pacific Rim if it sucks and doesn't live up to the first one. But I'll still like it as a monster movie.
Yeah.
But either way, so yeah, this has been Alex and Humphrey. Me and Humphrey are the two owners of Kaiju Island. We started it over 3 years ago, and
I think it was 4. Is 3?
Might have been 4 years.
Yeah.
We started about 4 years ago. We've got almost 1,000 followers on Instagram, and we'd like to see more. If you give us a follow on Instagram at Kaiju_island, and also just keep in touch. Look at our YouTube videos, comment, have discussions with us. We always love talking to people about the world of Kaiju. Give us a like, subscribe, and we'll have more videos, more content coming your way soon. Just suggest any videos you want to see, and we'll definitely have more guests, talking, discussions, everything like that. So yeah, guys, just keep up with the channel, and we'll be posting. The figure reviews are going to be the main thing. We're going to be posting more figure reviews soon, but we don't. We want to wait until me and Humphrey are actually together before we post a lot of them. So and also be on the lookout for announcements. We might possibly be making a Kaiju short film in 3 parts. So be aware of that. But yeah, this has been Alex and Humphrey.
See ya.
And yes, Dylan.
Yep, and Dylan. And that's what we feel about Pacific Rim 2. You guys let us know down below in the comments what you think and start a heated debate with us. And
no turtles were hurt in the making of this film.
and we will see and we will see you guys on the motherfucking flip side.